Last week, we gave you the Mount Rushmore of Hollywood film actors: Humphrey Bogart, Marlon Brando, Paul Newman, Denzel Washington. This week, the Mount Rushmore of film actresses. Now, remember, as I mentioned last week, there are dozens and dozens of actors and actresses who are Mount Rushmore worthy. You just can't pick four. So on my Mount Rushmore, it's simply my favorites. They're not necessarily the best, but they're closest to my heart. Let's do it. Ingrid Bergman. Like co-star Humphrey Bogart, she gets onto my Mount Rushmore for Casablanca alone. But aside from Casablanca, we're talking For Whom the Bell Tolls, Gaslight, Spellbound, Notorious. She won 3 Oscars and 4 Golden Globe Awards. And I know Ingrid Bergman is not responsible for this, but in no world does Rick allow Ilsa to fly away with Victor Laszlo. I still haven't gotten over that. Next, Grace Kelly. When I was a kid, I was told Grace Kelly was the most beautiful woman in the world. Okay. Nobody can really hold that title officially, unlike the fact that we know beyond the shadow of a doubt that the Pacific Ocean is the #1 ocean in the world. But then in college, I saw the 3 Alfred Hitchcock films that Kelly did in the 1950s. Dial M for Murder, Rear Window, and To Catch a Thief, and I was mesmerized. But here's the tragedy. Her acting career ended at age 26. 26, because she met the Prince of Monaco and became Princess Grace of Monaco. This beast of a man kept her under wraps in the royal palace for the rest of her life, polishing flatware and silverware. This crumbum, Prince Rainier III, swept Grace Kelly out of Hollywood, out of our lives, and the United Nations should have imprisoned him for a crime against humanity. I still haven't gotten over that. Next, Jessica Lange. How has this woman not had even a bigger film career than she has? She slays me every time I see her up there on the big screen. She's won Academy Awards, Emmy Awards, and a Tony Award that's called the Triple Crown of Acting. Plus, she won 5 Golden Globe Awards. She is the only person who should ever play Blanche DuBois on stage in A Streetcar Named Desire. She always appears, to be a troubled character on screen, but if she walked into this podcast studio today, I would have to call Tony and let her know I'm not coming home for dinner. And finally, a given, Meryl Streep. Jessica Lange and Meryl Streep were born 2 months apart in 1949. 1949 was a very good year. Nobody has ever been better than Meryl Streep in transforming herself into her characters. She is so chameleon-like, she could play a chameleon. I honestly believe Meryl Streep could win an Academy Award portraying a windmill. And there you have your Mount Rushmore of film actresses: Ingrid Bergman, Grace Kelly, Jessica Lange, and Meryl Streep. No pretenders there.